You've probably seen it on a few shorts for Socially Constructed before, but my number one piece of advice that I give to individual community managers in order to start and build their career in online community is to find 3 people who are just like you, 3 people you think you can learn from, and 3 people you think you can help. Put them all together and now you have 10 people, and that's perfectly fine for a seed community. But what happens if you're a SaaS company or maybe an e-learning company? In this video, we're going to take that exact same advice and we're going to give it a structure. We're going to formalize it in order to help you build a champions program that can not only kickstart your online community, but it can create instant ROI and bring a tremendous amount of value to the community members that you choose to seed your community with. I cannot stress this enough. A champions program is one of the best things that you can do for your online community. But there are also a lot of pitfalls that are involved in actually building a champions program. You need a lot of data. You need to select the right people. You need those right people to be involved. So it involves a lot of stakeholder management and a lot of dialectical discussion. But more importantly, it involves understanding the audience that you are going to galvanize into a community. And a big part of that is going to be involved with our first real big official sponsor, a community intelligence platform that I cannot recommend to you enough called Orbit. I know everyone thinks I'm obsessed with community intelligence platforms, and they'd be right, but Orbit specifically has been one that I've watched grow, and their developments have gone from technology and understanding the data of community into how to build programs like this Champions program using their platform. If you at any point in time are a little bit unsure about how to build this platform system, Orbit actually built a totally free version specifically on building a champions program, and it's actually really well written. The first step that I always recommend starting with is understanding how your brand, which is usually pretty product oriented, it's about you, can really be turned outward in order to collect those individuals who are willing to share those values like champions should. In order to find those people, Orbit makes it really, really easy for you to do this. Just simply connect the various social and private channels that you have within your organization. Let it render for a little bit, and then once you do, you're going to get a specific kind of metric that's going to be called an orbit level. Orbit level is a composite of a few different applications between 3 primary theories that we've discussed on this channel before. The first one is social penetration theory, which is this notion that any individual who's getting to know you or your brand is going to do one of 2 things. They're either going to orbit around you, they're going to learn more about you without getting closer, or when they're ready and they choose to take a step, something like an onboarding funnel, which we'll discuss later, they will move closer. In order to do this, there's a certain set of social capital that they interact with in order to learn this. The first piece is going to be bridging capital. This is them connecting with other individuals, talking about it. You can think of this as like reviews. And then bonding capital. When they choose to get closer, there's this aspect of self-disclosure. Hey, I'm interested in this product because my company is having trouble with X. The Orbit model basically combines these 2 structures with our third model, one that I don't think you need introduction to, called the socio-ecological model. The notion that as individuals in a public scope want to get closer to an organization, they start to move into different levels of communication. At one point, it's just communication on social media. It's short, it's curt, it's not so professional. But as they get closer, they start to say, hey, here's a little bit more about me and our business. I would love to start a professional relationship with you. The Orbit model combines these 3 notions into an applicable system that allows for you to gravitationally move someone into your brand. They become opportunities for your sales team. They become the perfect people for you to interview for your product. And most importantly, they become your champions. So simply go into the platform and organize your Orbit level by top to bottom. Take a look at each profile and don't just send an email to each one. Spend some time getting to know each person and asking yourself, who do I want to be a part of this community? People who are not just touting the brand, but who are successful as a result and who are willing to perform work in your community for other individuals to reach that same level of success. And I cannot stress this enough. This decision is not just about the data. This is also about learning what you want this community to be. It's about social listening. So your number one step is going to be going out and doing a qualification interview with several of those individuals. And a part of this qualification interview is that it should not be structured. You are getting to know these individuals, getting to understand what they want and what they need out of a community. Deliver the value that they need enough that they're willing to spend time in that space and talk to complete and total beginners who are coming in. And you report out to them using that information to say, hey, I think this is the direction we want to go. Based on these talks, I think that we want this community's champion program to look like this. These are the shared goals that we have. If you feel comfortable with this, we would love it if you could submit an informal application to be one of our brand new champions. All right, so you've found these individuals in the Orbit platform and you've taken the time to actually research and understand them. You've reached out to the ones that you think have the highest potential to intrinsically create value in your community, and you think you have a pretty good offer that encourages them to join your champions program. Once you've done that, it starts with simple meetings. The most important thing about this meeting is that you should already, because you've done your social listening, have a certain set of goals that all of these individuals are interested in. You can also ask them how they want to express this certain sense of status. By allowing your champions to have some modicum of control over your internal business decisions quarter over quarter, not only are you going to be delivering on a tremendous amount of value to the individuals who matter most to your brand as you grow this community, you're also going to be able to give them a certain sense of value that they can move out into the world with. They can feel prideful about their connection. Do you want to give them badges? Do you want to give them a certain name for them to join? And you're going to create this organic sense of belonging. You're going to make this practice into a ritual piece of content. This ritual activity that you develop and show people matters is going to allow you to create a small little microculture. That's the point where you can start to make this go from an organic thing into a structured development. And the piece of content that we want you to create as a result is called an onboarding system. This is something that allows for you to control the culture that you're building by creating a boundary around your champions program. What that means is that anyone who sees this application will immediately understand the value of becoming a champion because your champions are expressing that value. But they have to go through a certain set of restrictions and qualifications in order for them to come in. What that means is you're creating an application that's based upon the specific restrictions and goals for your community and for your champions program. Once you've reported that out, you're going to ask your champions to find people who work with those qualifications, friends, family members, people in other communities. And once they've reached out and you've started to garner those applications, you're only going to allow for specific sets of applications in any given moment because you need to kind of drip those people into your champions program. You should be introducing these individuals as cohorts and put a welcome members cohort meeting as part of your regular ritual content. Once you've done this, you're going to find that each individual coming into your champion set is going to receive something that excites them, a piece of value that they did not expect. So with that, let's zoom out a little bit. Find the right people. Figure out who you need to interview. What provides value to your champions. Bring them in and have an individual meeting that talks about and solidifies that documentation. Start speaking with them about the culture that they are looking to build and create an onboarding infrastructure that allows for new members to come into your champions program. And anyone who comes in brand new is going to immediately meet the champions that are already a part of it. They'll fall in line. They'll set precedent to learn the culture. And with momentum and development, you're going to allow individuals based on a certain set of criteria to grow your champions program. Each champion should, as a result, gain a tremendous amount of value, have their goals for their own development of your platform all satisfied, and as a result, they're going to be very integrated into your online community. And as a result, they will provide more value to your community than what you put into them. A champions program should never cost the company money. It should contribute to your product research and your development. It should contribute to your marketing, and it should contribute to the support of your online community. And if, of course, you need a little bit of help, no worries, because I provide 1 hour free consults to anyone who might want a little bit of help building these communities in exchange for allowing us the access to your champions community as a research site moving forward so that we can build this as a social science for online community. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any advice, concerns, you've built a champions community and you have your own expertise to contribute, I want to see it down in the comments. Let us know. What is your process for building this and what tools do you use? Thank you so much for watching Socially Constructed. Thank you so much to Orbit for being genuinely our first official sponsor on this channel. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, take a look right here at our next conversation, which is on the definition of community and how you can use each aspect of this definition in order to build very real aspects of a culture within a boundaried space. By doing this, you'll be able to take that champions program a step further into a general community infrastructure.